So, as I said, I'm going to do a little video on trying not to be so wasteful. As you guessed, I'm here in the car, headed off to work. I got to finish up this lattice today. I'll probably show you guys that and build like a little door and stuff. But anyways, so I'm leaving Lowe's, grabbing a couple things, and I'm just having this thought as I'm cutting the tag off my gloves. I'm cutting the tag off my gloves, and I notice that the tag is cardboard. So in that moment, I'm thinking, oh, I could probably use this cardboard to start my fire later instead of throwing it away. Now, cardboard, since it's biodegradable, it's not too big of a deal. But I literally been thinking like this for a long time. Man, the sun is out today, so pardon me, but I'm gonna have to put my glasses back on. I got these little cheapies, $5.99 at Lowe's, and the best thing about these glasses is if something hits me in the eye, it ain't gonna break through because it's not a glass lens and it's a eye protectant. So they're pretty cool, especially for $5.99. But anyways, getting back, so I'm thinking about that piece of paper. It's like a, for my gloves or whatever, and I'm thinking I'll just take that home and I'll use it to burn. I threw it away, but I need to not be a hoarder. There's a difference. But if you can use things, then you should. And one thing that I've noticed is as I've made more money, or when I have more money, I'm a lot more wasteful. And so I can only imagine, what's happening on like a high level of business where people are, building and doing this and all that. Because I watch even everywhere, like the job sites that I'm at, people are very wasteful with materials, with food. And the worst thing is when it's not on your dime. That is so uncalled for and such BS. And so I'll give you an example of that. So basically, I'm out on that site, that I've been working on. You guys have seen it, the mansion compound place. And everywhere I go, there's like a little stack of nails that's got these little plastic wraps around it. And what they are is they're for a nail gun. And they're just everywhere, scattered all over the place. Good nails, nothing wrong with them. Not to mention, there's screws. There's all this stuff that's just left by the people that have been working there. Now, I'm not calling out any names because I don't know who did it, or, who knows who did it. Or maybe that's just, I don't know. For me, it's completely unacceptable. I don't try to waste anything if I can avoid it. Maybe that's because I'm Indian and it's part of my heritage, just like, something that I guess, is ingrained in me. But we really need to bring this trend back, because there's no reason to waste so much stuff. I can give you prime examples of how not wasting stuff can actually benefit you. So I've talked about this before a couple times, and I'll just bring it up again. So I live in an area where it gets really cold. So I have choices on how to heat the house. And one way that I heat the house is I start a fire. Now, it doesn't cost me anything to start a fire except what I need to do to start the fire. Collect the wood, chop the wood, throw it in the fire, and start it up and keep adding wood to the fire. Now, the great thing about that is it keeps me active. I'm up, making sure the fire's okay all the time. I'm always doing something. See, if you have a fire going, you have to be active. Now, so it promotes me to stay up on my feet is what I'm trying to say. And that's one benefit. Now, here's a highly beneficial. When I get my firewood, all I have to do is spend time to get the firewood. So I spend my time, which time is money, but I get the firewood for free. So I warm my house for free. Now I also have obviously electric to where I can use my heaters and all that kind of stuff, and I do. But I use little teeny space heaters. I don't use like the actual house heater because I don't need to. If it drops below 50, the furnace kicks on all by itself just to keep the house at 50. But I don't use it unless it does that pretty much. I don't really use it because I've got the stove. But here is the other thing about the stove. I also burn all of my paper. So I don't throw away paper or put it away in the, recycle. I basically keep all that paper and I burn it to start my fire. Now, I don't keep as much as I used to. I used to keep a lot more because I didn't have this really cool torch, which you guys have probably seen in some of those videos. Maybe I'll put a link of that video of me starting the fire, or maybe I'll just do another one. But anyways, I have this torch that's like crazy. It's only a little hand torch, but it starts the fire. Like I can literally start a piece of wood like fire. So that has kind of made me a little lazy not to, use paper as much to start the fire. And the thing is paper takes longer and, you get it. Just like what I was saying. When you have a switch to turn on the heat, then, you can do two things. You can turn the switch on and then just turn it off whenever you want. You could turn the switch on and forget to turn it off and pay too much. You could turn the switch on and become a lazy person, by nature of having a switch, and just, lay around the house because it's so nice and you don't have any reason to go check on it or go start it and stoke it like a fire. So like there's all these like avenues that happen when you're, working with something. But, and I'm trying to stay on topic here, basically not being wasteful. And I think I'm pretty much right on the nail right here. So basically Einstein, he was the kind of guy that if he was going to make soup, he'd boil eggs. And that's just how he thought, and that simple idea is enough to, basically coach a whole generation to start a trend to get this shit in gear. We're not simple creatures. We're highly developed, and we have sensory perception that's off the charts. And if anyone doubts that, then go and prick yourself with a needle on your finger and watch it. Or prick yourself with something and don't watch it, and see the difference of the reaction. I mean, we are highly sensitive. The problem is right now we're more sensitive to what people think than we are sensitive to understanding why they think that. If we would become more sensitive into thinking why, instead of, I lost my train of thought there, but basically what I'm trying to say is if we're more sensitive to other people's needs before our own, it's going to tell us a lot about what we need to do in order to maintain a steady flow. And so like when you're having like a steady flow and you're moving, you're just getting things done, things are happening, you're enjoying your life, you're inspired to get up in the morning. And that's the truth. If you're not getting up in the morning, it's because you're not inspired enough to get up. So my recommendation is to find something that inspires you and get up for that. Oddly enough, what inspires me is my job. I like going out to this job that I've been doing recently, and I appreciate the work very, very much, and I just kind of go out here and I get work done. And that's what I'm doing for right now. But eventually this job will go away, or, it'll slow down and I'll have to do less and make less. But, I'll move on and I'll find someone else to help. But the main thing is that I'm literally bringing that idea of not being wasteful into so many different aspects of my life. And if other people would do that, or at least know the difference, then I think we would be just a lot better off. Now, I ain't gonna lie. This is some, bro psychology. It hasn't been, tested. Well, actually, that's not true. It probably hasn't been tested. But, I usually speak from the heart. I really do. As I, always, my outro is, if it doesn't come from love, it's wrong. And that means so much, because a lot of people might think, oh, well, that didn't come from love if they see me do something or hear me say something. But really the truth is, basically everything I do does come from love. And anything that's not coming from love, I'm just not aware of it yet, because I'm too emotionally off kilter by whatever my, emotional feelings is to that. And I'm not afraid to admit that. That's the truth, I'm an emotional creature, and I'm going to have emotions. Oh my God, you guys got to check this out. This is one of those new C7s. So sick. I'm supposed to be getting one of those. So stay tuned to that. But, yeah. Not being wasteful is literally such a wonderful power to have. It's a superpower, actually, because the thing is, when you're not wasteful, other people notice it, and then when they notice it, they start to do it, and then other people notice them doing it, and eventually everyone starts doing so much that no one really has to do very much anymore, because that little bit that everyone's doing here and there is helping out tremendously. I don't think anyone really has any idea how much just taking in the, idea of not using so many plastic bags when you throw away your garbage. What's the point? You could literally use that bag 2 or 3 times. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take my little white bag, 12 gallon or whatever they are, and I'll take the whole bag to the can, and I'll just dump the bag in the can. And then I'll take the bag back. Or I'll take the whole can with the bag still in it. I'll dump the can, and then I'll take the can back. Now, if the bag is kind of nasty, I understand. Bag's nasty. So but a lot of times the bag isn't too bad. And if the bag's not too bad, then why throw it away? The reason why you're throwing it away is because you're programmed to not, be mindful of that. And this is something we definitely need to be mindful of. We haven't been mindful of it for so long that we're literally killing, species, and we're just causing a lot of chaos. Anyway, so I'm just pulling up here to the property. I thought this would be kind of cool to put this beautiful site in the background. I am out here alone, but gives me time to think and lets me clear my head. But anyways, yeah, I'll post this here in a little bit. I will have it linked to a short on the Gregory's Odd World channel. But yeah, tell me what your thoughts are, guys. Let me know what you think. If it doesn't come from love, it's wrong. Gregory's Odd World signing out.